Hi guys, hope you're well. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to make the most delicious all-in-one veggie pasta, full of the good stuff, 4 of your 5 fruit and veggie day in one dish. Turn this pan on. We're gonna go in with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. I'm gonna be heroing sweet peppers. Just give them a little wash. And simply stick your thumb, right, like that, and then tear it apart. And then what we'll do is take out the stalk and the seeds and any of the kind of white seedy parts and just put that to one side. So just carefully slice up all the peppers. We'll go into the pan here. So in we go. Look at that, look at the color. Get yourself a little spoon, give it a mix up, and then on to the next veg. So a couple of nice red onions. You could use white onions. Peel those. Take the ends off, half them, and then we're going to finely slice them. Get those lovely red onions into the pan. So 2 veg down. Next up, get your courgettes, take the ends off, and then cut them in half. Again, sort of finely sliced. As you prep each vegetable, you're just adding it into the pan like that. So next up, garlic. And for this recipe, 4 cloves of garlic. This is going to be absolutely delicious. What I want to do now is cook it down to caramelize and concentrate and go delicious. And then last but not least, I want to prep some of this stuff, basil. What we have here is beautiful leaves and the stalk. So I'm going to take the leaves off the stalk, put it to one side, and then these stalks I'm going to put to the other side, and I'm going to use all of it. Just finely slice the stalks, and that will go in as well. So we're absolutely wasting nothing. And now what it really needs is time. Just kind of give it a stir every now and again. So that is going to be beautiful. Now here, for this lovely basil oil, simply take the basil and put it in a pestle and mortar. So I'll just take a little pinch of salt into the basil, smash it up, and then in 30 seconds, you can just let it down with oil. So put that to one side. And look, all we have to do now is give this a stir every couple of minutes. £1 wonder coming your way. It's had 20 minutes. You can see the colours have concentrated and got caramelised. It's shrunk down. So now's the fun bit. It all comes together now. So I've got 250 grams of lovely cherry tomatoes. These I've just washed and I'm going to put in whole. I said it was a £1 wonder. So in here, we're going to go in with 300 grams of the pasta shells. Then go in with 800 millilitres of water, and then we're just going to stir it through. Very importantly, give it a season with salt and pepper, mix it, and then put the lid on top, and we'll cook that for the same amount of time as it says on the packet of pasta, about 10 or 12 minutes, then I'll show you what to do next. So this has had 10 minutes, and the pasta shells have only sucked up the gorgeous tastiness from the veggies. And I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of this cottage cheese in here. I'll stir this through and just let those little curds warm up a little bit. So I'd serve that in the middle of the table. A few of those basil leaves I'll just put in and around the pan like that. So then put the basil oil through the pasta. So guys, look at that. That's a really nice, easy one-pan comfort food dish, packed full of the good stuff. Properly tasty. Let's have a little try. Fresh, full of lovely veggie flavour. You've got those curds of lovely cottage cheese that are in there, and that hit, that perfume of the basil oil. It's fantastic. Now look, I love it in the middle of the table with a pan. Just help yourself. If you can, dress it up a little bit and put it on a platter, and then just pour it in. Look at the colour. Maybe just grab a few more basil leaves, a kiss of olive oil, 1 pan veggie pasta. I'm gonna make for my family a beautiful aubergine Parmesan Milanese. I love doing this. It's a brilliant way to really elevate the humble aubergine to the next level, right? And what I'm gonna give you is a method where we actually tenderize the aubergine, make it creamy on the inside, crispy on the outside with the Parmesan, so good. And then I'm gonna serve that with a sweet tomato, basil and garlic sauce. Simple pasta, bit of Parmesan, happy days. So look, it's a really quick one to do, and it's a really fun process. So first of all, what we need to do is get the aubergine sliced up into 4 1-centimetre slices. Literally just shave the end off the black skin to expose the white flesh. Do the same on the other side. And then what we want to do is cut it in half. Now, I leave the stalk on because it really helps to hold the whole thing together. Now, once you've got it in half, again, exactly the same, put the knife in between, gently cut down, through to the stalk again, all the way through. So what we have here, essentially, is like 4 escallops of aubergine. So first of all, what we need to do is draw out the moisture. Now, it's gonna look like I'm gonna over-salt it, but I will be taking half of this salt off. But this salt is really important for this tenderization, right? So we're gonna put some of this aubergine on the salt here, like that. And that will start to bring the moisture out of the aubergine. It actually starts to change the texture, right? And we can actually treat it like meat, and we can start to tenderize that. And if you use like a regular meat bat, or even your fist, what you can do is start pounding, and you'll start to completely change the texture. By doing this, you're gonna get a creamy inside, and by cooking it the way I'm gonna cook it, it's gonna be really crispy on the outside. So simply flip that over, and then we'll do the other side. So already, this kind of feels completely different. And that's just from a little bit of time with salt and a little bit of tenderization. And then all I do now is get a bit of kitchen paper and just dab off that sort of salty juice like that. So next up, breadcrumbs. What I'm gonna do is take this lovely vegetable and make it really crunchy. So I've got 2 free-range eggs, whisked up so they're nice and loose. Now let's talk about the breadcrumbs. I love to try and get the rosemary focaccia. Why? Because it's white, it's crunchy, but also the rosemary and garlic in this will give your breadcrumbs extra flavour, but with 1 ingredient. Of course, you can use whatever bread you want, but the more exciting your bread is, the more exciting the flavour will be on the outside of your aubergine, right? So 100 grams of bread I want, and just whack that straight into a food processor. Like that. What I quite like is it's kind of got a little bit of substance to it. Look at that. It's bouncy, there's some chunks in there. You can see the little bits of rosemary as well. So, now we're gonna take our lovely aubergine, just like you would if it was a cut of meat. Season it up with a little pepper, like that. And then into the egg. That's kind of like your binding. That's your glue. Can you see the difference in the texture, right? If you'd have just cut the aubergine, it would never do that. It would actually break. Shake the plate of breadcrumbs here. Let the excess come off, then put it onto the breadcrumbs and then use your other hand, otherwise it will get sticky, to cover it. Pat it down, bit of pressure, and then a little shake. But that, my friends, is a beautiful breadcrumbed aubergine. So 1 down, 3 to go. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got those 4 done. So now get a large non-stick pan on a high heat. A nice swig of oil goes in there. And then I'm just gonna lay our lovely breadcrumbed aubergine into that oil and start to fry it. I wanna get it lightly golden, so about 2 minutes each side. Now, look, the great thing about this recipe is traditionally, of course, it will be veal, right? Or chicken, or pork sometimes. And bigging up the veg, I think, is a really nice thing to do. So let's just have a little look at this first one that went in. Look, that's lovely. So flip that over. Look at that. Nice and sizzly. That black skin gets really nice and crispy too. Look at that, golden, crisp and delicious. And I've experimented doing the same preparation with slices of butternut squash, beautiful pumpkin, amazing, courgettes, or even a mixture of different ones. And I think it's just a brilliant way to enjoy veg, but we should all be enjoying more veg, right? So get yourself some Parmesan, and this is when things get even tastier. Garlic, rosemary, breadcrumbs. Now, a little Parmesan is gonna be good. Get a fine grater, and just kind of do long strokes on a baking tray. So that's like the welcoming party to our lovely aubergines. So have a little look at these. Oh, yes. That is beautiful. That's gonna be so tasty. Look at that. Here we go. And then as it's all sizzling and gorgeous, then we go over with some more long strokes of Parmesan, and this will just become one. This will just melt into the aubergine. So at this stage, this beautiful thing goes in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for about 10 minutes. And actually, 10 minutes is a pretty good number because I've got some spaghetti here and it says cook for 10 minutes. We'll boil that up. At the same time, we're going to make the simplest, quickest tomato sauce ever. So first up, tinned tomatoes. There's plum tomatoes, great. Chopped tomatoes, passatas, use whatever you like. But in the world of tinned tomatoes, there's actually cherry tinned tomatoes. And they're blooming delicious. And I've only really found them in the supermarkets in the last couple of years. So look out for these lovely little cherry tomatoes, right? Because they're gorgeous, they're sweet, and they're picked at their very best. So in a pan we go with a little olive oil, and then a couple of cloves of garlic. Just run your knife through it. Easy peasy, right? Get that into the oil. We want this to be sweet, so don't get too much colour on that. Not always, but sometimes I'll put a little bit of chilli in there. I want it to be very mild. The kids are going to have it. So I'll take the end off, half it, and I'll take the seeds out, right? And then I'll put that whole chilli in, and then I can take it out later. But it's going to give this tomato sauce a hum. It won't be hot, it won't be spicy. So in we go. And then as soon as there's a little bit of colour on the lovely garlic, then we'll break the frying and go to boiling these beautiful cherry tomatoes. All you need to do is bring those cherry tomatoes up to the boil. We'll season it with a little pepper and some salt. And then some basil, about half a bunch. Just tear it up. And now we have a beautiful, delicious, fast, gorgeous tomato sauce. Put that on low. Pasta's got a few more minutes to go. Right, 10 minutes is up. Let's have a little look here. Look at that. You can see it sizzling away. That's going to give you the most amazing texture. So look, let that cool down. If you look in the pan here, see how it's just been on a very low heat, just drying up, right? What you've done is concentrate flavour. So now what we can do is take our lovely pasta and let the excess water rehydrate this. So cook that pasta nice and al dente, and then let it kind of do that last bit of cooking in the tomato sauce. So the pasta and the sauce kind of become one. Simple stuff, but so good. Look at that. I just love it. Extra splash of water. Get that consistency right. If you want to put a little Parmesan in the pasta, absolutely you can. It's just joyful. Right, let's plate up. Grab half of that pasta and just let it kind of hang, right? And then just let it just kind of drape across the plate. Gosh. A few bits of the lovely cherry tomato on top. They're so soft and tender. Get a little slice under the aubergine. You can see how crispy that's gone. And just lay it over the top. And I just love it. It's like the simplest sauce, but it just feels special. A few little baby basil leaves, and maybe one last little kiss of Parmesan if you want. But that's it. Job's done. Aubergine Milanese, simple pasta, and then the simplest, quickest little sweet tomato sauce. Let's have a go, come on. Let's get in there. So what I want from the aubergine is crisp on the outside and really buttery tenderness on the inside. Let's just go for a bit of aube first. Look at that. For me, it's all about taking the everyday aubergine and just elevating it to the next level. I love it. Absolutely delicious. Because you've got that beautiful crunch. And then the inside of the aubergine is so buttery and silky. It's got texture, it's got deep flavour. This dish makes me happy. If you've never enjoyed aubergine cooked like this, you've got to try it. Beautiful, mouthful, deliciousness. Okay, the next recipe is absolutely gorgeous. It's a cross between like a lasagna and a cannelloni. It's called Rotolo, rolled up. It's gorgeous. Beautiful roasted squash, I'll show you that in a minute, with amazing spinach, gorgeous cheese, tomato sauce, blipping away, golden and crispy. You are gonna love it, and it's real fun to make. First, prepare your squash. Scoop out the seeds and peel off the skin.
but don't chuck them away. You can eat them.
Georgie, can we just bake that up in the oven? Because I think that tossed through a lovely sort of mixed salad would be fantastic.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Then mash up the squash, season, and boom, job done.
That's it, just beautiful, natural, gorgeous squash in all of its simple glory. It's gonna be really, really tasty. It's heavenly, absolutely heavenly. The best baby food in the world, minus the salt. Fantastic as a base for a soup. Just a few onions and some basic herbs, you know, liquidize it with some stock, fantastic. I love those kind of principle recipes. Like, all of you have got to try doing that. Skin off, seeds out, mash it up, unbelievable. Use it like a mashed potato, phenomenal. Okay, enough of that talking.
For the next layer of your pasta filling, the spinach bit, start by chopping 1 red onion.
I've got some olive oil in the pan. I'm gonna go in with some onions here, and we'll fry this off. So we start getting some flavour in there. A nice pinch of salt and pepper goes in. Right, give that a nice little toss. Let that start to fry. We're gonna make a really dark, delicious, dense spinach. Really, really nice, okay? And for that, there is absolutely no point and no advantage of using fresh spinach, okay? So bear with me. Now, when you're gonna cook down spinach into soups, stews, do nice little gratins with cream and Parmesan. In this case, we're cooking it down with herbs and onion to go inside this beautiful pasta dish. When you do that, you really kind of cook it hard. So there's no benefit in using fresh spinach, which, by the way, is quite pricey and massive in volume. It really takes up a lot of space. So come over here. I love fresh spinach. I grow it, I buy it, but I also love the frozen stuff. And genuinely, it's really useful, and it's just gonna give you that nice, dark, deep kind of flavour. Amazing with kind of curries, sort of Bombay spinach, beautiful. So I'm gonna toss up these onions. As soon as they get soft, I'm gonna throw these in. In actual fact, I'm gonna throw these in right now. The bonus here is to have that much spinach in a pan, I'd have to buy like 4 bags, right? It's gonna be really expensive. Izzy, how much is 500 grams of frozen spinach versus, you know, fresh? Is it a massive difference?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Frozen spinach is 1/10 of the price of fresh spinach.
1/10? So you're telling me that if I bought a bag of spinach for £1, the same equivalent's 10p? There you go, that's what I'm talking about.
Top your spinach off with some nutmeg and leave to cook down slowly for 15 minutes.
Look at the colours, the squash and the spinach, beautiful, really, really beautiful.
Next, a super quick and super delicious tomato sauce. Slice up 4 cloves of garlic and a chilli if you like a bit of a kick.
Just chop it up. So this can go in a pan with a little olive oil. And then over here, we're using some passata, 700 mils of passata. It's already kind of been sort of moulied and pureed. So look, as soon as that garlic gets a little bit golden, pour it in. Look at it, just sizzling away. Gonna get a bit of water to clean out the jar. Also, these jars are worth keeping. They're great for sort of sauces and preserves, vinegars, stuff like that, if you do any of that sort of stuff. Just mix that in. Really, really nice. Simple, very, very simple tomato sauce. Mix it in. We'll bring that to the boil. Remember, of course, the tomatoes are already cooked. You're just reheating them. So, my friends, it's time to make the Rotolo.
I'm using fresh pasta lasagna sheets. If they're a bit stiff, you can just stick them in a bit of boiling water for a few seconds.
I'm just doing it for 20 seconds, just to stop it from cracking. You know, because I'm going to roll it up. I don't want it busting over the place. You might not have to do it. You make the call.
Lay them flat and grab your smashed squash. Now the fun bit.
We're going to divide the squash between the 6 pieces of pasta here. So think of each one of these little filled pastas. It's got to be good. It's a little present, do you know what I mean? The fact that this is beautifully seasoned is up to you. It's totally your responsibility to taste it, season it, and love it. There's nothing chefy about this at all. This is kids' play. This is like mud pies when you're a kid. You know, just spread it out.
Now, the spinach layer.
Look how dark that is. You can hardly see the difference between the spinach and the pan. Just kind of, just shake off around, divide it roughly, So I'm just going to mix up this spinach. Look at that.
To give my dish a lovely cheap punch of extra flavour, I'm going to crumble over a fine layer of feta cheese. If you want to be more classically Italian, you could just use ricotta instead.
I want about 50 grams of feta. Again, look at the colours. Just sprinkle that across the top. Look at that. Oh dear, oh dear.
Top it all off with a layer of Parmesan.
So look at what we got, guys. We've got these beautiful 6 bits of pasta. We've got this tomato sauce here. Can you just see it blipping away? Ah, that needs a little bit of salt. But basically, very, very nice. Let me show you the next bit, the most exciting bit. Very simple. I'm just going to roll it up. Just think of this like a savoury Swiss roll. Cut it in half, and then cut each half in half again, into quarters. Look at that. I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's kind of what the story's about. Just those intense, beautiful flavours. White, green, purple. Purple? Just go with it, purple. So that's what we've got. We're going to plop that into that tomato sauce and just buddy them up next to each other. Ben?
Yep.
Safety first.
Always.
I've used frozen spinach here.
Yep.
If I cook this and add leftovers, could I freeze it again?
Yeah, you could do. Probably better to freeze it at this stage now. We've done all the filling. Let it cool down a little bit, tub it up, put it in the freezer, and then it's a really quick meal one night.
Right, okay.
Tuck your pasta rolls into your dish until they're all squeezed in, snuggled up tight. Finish with a little more grated Parmesan and some fresh sage.
Put a little oil on the sage. Toss it in the oil, very important. This way, you're going to take this woody old herb that only gets used for stuffing. We're going to put this on the top of our pasta here, and it just transforms the perfume, the flavour, and it kind of cooks like little crisps. Absolutely phenomenal and is unbelievable. Please, please have a go at this. So look, that's all there is to it now. We've had a little bit of fun. It's a cute dish to do. You know, a lasagna is always a pain in the backside. It's always a bit of an assembly. I have to say, I think this is easier. You know, you haven't got the meat ragu to do, you haven't got the white sauce to do, but you're getting the same kind of enjoyment and eating quality.
Whack that hot Italian mama into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius and bake for 40 minutes. When the Rotolo is ready, it's golden and crispy and just makes you long to stick a fork in it.
I've done pastas like this before and I call it honeycomb pasta because it kind of just looks like a honeycomb, all cooked into each other. The tomato sauce between all the little gaps. Really, really gorgeous.
And don't forget, you've also got those roasted seeds and skin from the squash, which will be amazing in a green salad.
Don't think I'm going OTT on the old saving money thing. It's delicious.
This Rotolo is incredibly tasty, but also super cheap to make. For not much more than a £5, you can feed 6 people. It's 91 pence a portion.
Comfort food, something a little different, really good fun to make. Come on, what are you waiting for? Go cook it.